good shot for you to get.
Dennis, why don't you tell me that again? So what are these flowers?
This is a reproduction of no man's land in Flanders. The trees were shattered, the soil was torn up, it was usually rainy and muddy. But the only thing that really grew were the poppies. They were a wildflower that continued to grow back despite the devastation. There are 9,000 flowers below you. Each single flower that you see represents the death of 1,000 men in combat.
Each flower represents 1,000 men in combat.
And we tell our younger visitors that we are not about war, we are about peace. Oh, that's good. And the cost of having peace.
Cost of having peace, that's a good one.
Okay, thank you. And although this is almost 100 years ago, the peace treaty that was ultimately signed, I guarantee when you go home tonight and you watch the TV news, one of the countries that was created out of this war will be in the news. You're going from Palestine, Iraq, Iran, Syria, Turkey, Kosovo, Serbia. It's 100 years ago, and we're living with decisions about creating those countries.
You're good.
If you want to do it, you can't tape it, but there is a movie in here that tells of the potential causes of the Great War.
Right.
The most meaningful line is the first one. Nobody really knows, but it goes through.
What does it mean? Nobody really knows.
Historically, it was started because of the assassination of the Archduke of Austria-Hungary, but there were other factors that were involved as well, and that tells that portion of it. So it depends on your time.
So you really don't know. That's just could be something that's somebody
Economic,
made
political,
up. Yeah.
Change of populations.
Yeah, we don't want to go in there because I'll don't want to film that. Ooh, so these are the cannon they used.
That's the type of cannon we went into in the beginning. It required a team of men. It would be fired. The cannon would move. When it's fired, it'd have to be cleaned and repositioned. A whole team of men. By the time we get down to the French 76, that gun could be fired 20 times in a minute, where this one would have taken a long time just to get a position to get
it. Was pulled by horses?
Pulled by horses, positioned by men.
Mm-hmm. Pretty heavy though, huh?
Yes. We went to war thinking of a weapon like that. 70% of the casualties in the war were as a result of artillery.
Wow.
Yes.
So these are the weapons?
These are the weapons.
Kind of still looks like the Wild Wild West a little bit.
The artillery and the machine guns caused most of the casualties.
So this is a Mannlicher rifle. Isn't this the kind of rifle that was used to kill President Kennedy?
It's like that.
Similar, huh? Wow. So do they all have little rings on them so you could, so you wouldn't lose them, probably?
Right.
This one looks like an interesting piece here. German revolver.
What you'll see as we go on this side here, you'll be able to look in and see the living conditions in each of the trenches.
Is this a trench here?
This is a mock-up trench that was, this has been made as how it looked in Berlin to show the people how well done the German troops had it in the trenches.
Mm-hmm. No mud there.
No mud there. That is the Great Schlieffen Plan. The German troops attacked through Belgium. We're going to go down and attack Paris and cut the French off. Unfortunately, it didn't work, and we wound up with a static battle line running from the English Channel all the way down to Switzerland.
Wow, look at this. How far could this shoot a...
I'm not good on the ordnance, but it certainly was more powerful than the other one we saw.
This is similar to the first one.
It's the hydraulics that made the difference. It reduced the recoil so it could be fired again right away.
Oh, okay. I bet you they got hot.
Back in here, you'll see a German trench.
Okay, good.
When the German plan didn't work, they retreated, took the best defensive position.
All hell has been let loose.
The high ground.
We have already fired 500 rounds with the machine gun. My loader fumbles with a new box of ammunition, finally shoving the belt into the gun's feed block. God in heaven, a jam. The gun is yanked down into the crater. The belt is wet. Rip it out. Pushing in a new one, the machine gun is thrown back on the crater's edge. The new belt runs through freely. By now.
This large panel here shows that it really was a world war. Anything from kilts to long uniform pants. That would have been probably Australian. And Japanese.